Check this out, guys. Inside this box is the brand new Hiboy EX7 electric bike that just got released, and today we're gonna unbox it and check it out. I'm super excited about this one because if it's anything like the C1 Hiboy bike, this guy's gonna be crazy. So while I start unboxing this, let's jump to Studio Cody and he'll tell you all about the specs of this e-bike. Right, here we go. You get a waterproof rating of IPX4. The total weight of the bike is 79 pounds. You get a max speed of 28 miles per hour or 45 kilometers. You get a max range of 75 miles or 120 kilometers. The total payload is 330 pounds and it can handle a max incline of 30%. For a full charge, it takes 7 hours. Comes with a 2 amp smart charger and is made of aluminum alloy. You get a 48 volt, 18 amp hour removable waterproof battery, a pure electric range with no pedal assist of 43.5 miles, assuming you're not going up hills, and you only weigh 165 pounds, and a max range of 75 miles, again assuming a 165 pound rider. It is an e-bike class 3 and a top speed of 28 miles per hour. It has a 750 watt high-speed brushless geared motor that peaks out at 1000 watts, and you get front and rear suspension. And once you have everything unboxed and unwrapped, you have the bike all unassembled, you have the front tire, every tool you're gonna need. You get this really great multi-tool set here as well as some wrenches that you're gonna need. You get a part of your axle, pedals, a manual, and a charger, as well as a front fender. And once it's done, it will look like this. Pretty sweet, huh? My first impressions are this thing is a beast. I mean, look at this. This over here is a large size pivot switchblade. It's a big bike, 29-inch tires, big, large male bike. Now, look at this right next to it. It's like almost dwarfs that bike. Huge wheels just like the pivot, and the handlebars are just as high. Like, this is a full-size bike. So I am 6'1". This is actually meant for adults. And look at these tires. These are nuts. This is like nearly 4 inches. In fact, it's exactly 4 inches. These are 26 by 4-inch tires. Huge. And you can inflate them to a maximum of 20 PSI. Now these big wide tires do a lot for you in terms of comfort. They're gonna give you a lot of padding, but you're not only relying on those tires because you do get a rear shock with a really nice linkage system. The only concern I have about this so far is I don't see a way to adjust the pressure. You can't hook up like an air shock or anything to this rear shock. And my first impressions of it, so I'm 190 pounds and you can see if I jump on it, it's pretty stiff. But this video is gonna be kind of a long one because we're gonna test all this out, not only on the road and off of sidewalks, but also in the woods on trails, gravel roads, that sort of thing. You get this really nice sturdy rack on the back that you can get kind of packs for. You got your battery right here, which can be released with a key, and down here is your charge port. You can adjust the stiffness of your front ports. You have 8 different settings, all the way from locking out to making it more plush for going over roots and that sort of thing. And on the other side, you can adjust the preload. You get your motor out here in the back. Of course, you have dual brake discs. You get a single sprocket up front, followed by 7 gears in the back, made by Shimano, and it is a Touring TZ spec. You get plenty of room to adjust the seat, and the seat underneath has some sort of shock as well on both sides of the seat, and it is a very cushion, comfortable seat, which we'll try out in a minute. You get this huge display that can actually be seen in the daylight. On the top, you get your battery percentage, your miles per hour, and all the controls are over here to change what's seen over there. So if I press this information button, you can see it changes from trip to odometer, to my max speed for that trip, to my average speed, as well as the voltage. You get up and down buttons right here, and that adjusts the amount of pedal assist that you're applying, anywhere from 0 for just pedaling on its own up to level 3, which is, I'm just gonna say it, it's absolutely insane. And then of course you have the controls for the headlight. And what's interesting is when you are at night and you turn on the headlight, watch the display, it actually dims a little bit for night driving. The light on the back is a brake light and driving light. However, you do not have blinkers, which I'm very thankful for, to be honest. And the majority of your cables are all internal. So now, surprisingly, the bike actually weighs over 70 pounds. However, you don't feel it. It's actually really light. The way that they have the geometry set up and the weight placement with the big battery right here in the middle, it actually allows you to feel like you're riding on a much lighter bike. But one thing that's gonna be interesting to try out as far as in the trails here in a minute is these wide tires, because the wider the tires, the harder they are to turn. So I think it's time we get on the bike. Okay, so now let's start off here by turning it on, pressing the power button. You just kind of press and hold for a few seconds, does
does this little calibrating thing, and now we're good to go. So I'm gonna start with just like a baseline with no pedal assist. And now this is a heavy bike, so this should not, this should be pretty tough to pedal. Now the neat thing about these kinds of bike is that if you did run out of battery, you still can obviously still ride them. So that's the advantage there. So brakes are a little squeaky, need to get worn in, that's fine. So obviously no one's coming and buying this bike because they want to pedal it on their own. But it is good to know that it isn't too difficult to pedal. My tires are fully pumped up, so I don't have any resistance there. And you know, the handlebars feel quite comfortable. I put these actually on my mountain bikes. I have this little piece out here. They're really great for resting your palms. So the handlebars are really nice. And this is actually pretty easy to pedal. And in fact, I even have this on the 7th gear. So let's actually make this a lot easier. So I'm on gear 4 there. Shifts really well. Go all the way down to the hill climbing gear. Oh yeah, so there's no problem there. If you needed to actually pedal without the assist, yeah, that's not an issue. But anyway, let's get to the fun stuff. So let's go to level 1. So I press it up. And that's what you're paying for right there. Just kicks right in. Now we're going 12 miles per hour. Just barely even coasting with my leg. Wow, 15 miles per hour. That's aggressive. 16. And if I stop pedaling, it takes about 2 seconds, and then you feel, well, about 1 second, and you feel the power turn off. Okay, so we're on, again, our gear number 1, which is just too easy here. Just kind of a steady coast. And this is just, I mean, 0 effort. Just no effort whatsoever. So right now I'm on my 7th gear, 20 miles per hour, only pedal assist level 1, and it is beautiful. Almost no effort on this flat ground, and I'm holding 20 miles per hour. So if you're a commuter on a flat surface, this is brilliant. You're gonna get there quick. Okay, so now we're heading on to about a 20% grade hill. So let's just see how pedal assist level 1 handles this. Okay, so that's getting harder. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it to, let's go all the way to the far side here, level 1 on my gears, my first gear. You can see, so again, we're back down to about 9 miles per hour, almost minimum effort, but you're starting to feel a little bit as we're getting to the steeper climb. So here's then is where you come up here and you press the level 2 assist. And it feels like the thing just changed gears. Now we're going, same amount of effort from me, but now we're 10 miles per hour. Let's try gearing up a little bit. So I'm trying to keep the same amount of effort to see what it does to the speed. Yeah, this is a steep hill, just no problem at all. Let's go to level 3 assist. That's when it just takes off like a bullet. Oh my gosh, I almost can't pedal enough to keep up with it. Let's see how fast we can get going up the hill. All the way to level 7. So I'm actually putting effort for the first time into pedaling. So we're going 18 miles per hour, putting in effort to pedal. Oh my gosh, what a beast. 19, 20 miles per hour on that incredibly steep hill. And one thing that I'll mention too is, let's say your legs get sore. I'm gonna go back down to pedal assist level 1, and you wanna just coast for a while. On the right here, you have your throttle. You can just twist it. The bike takes over, and now you're like riding a motorcycle. And that will go up to 20 miles per hour, and you feel the governor kick in, and that's where you stop. All I can say is, on the street, this thing's a beast. Any hill is gonna handle it no problem with a 200-pound guy. I mean, I've never rode anything like it. But now the real question, and this is where I mostly spend my time on bikes, let's go into the woods. And actually, there is one more thing I want to do. I'm on a downhill section here. I'm gonna put it on pedal assist level 3. Let's do a max speed test down this hill. Let's go as fast as we can. Now, we're gonna have to do this by pedaling. So I think 28 miles per hour is the max. Oh, there's 30 right there. Holy cow. 31 we saw. It feels very in control. The big tires aren't squirrely. That's pretty fast. That got there quick, like really quick. But I can't even pedal now. I have no resistance. Okay, so now that we're on flat, let's give this a speed test here. So we're on flat. I'm going 28 miles per hour. That right there is the max for pedaling. So this is the max speed right now. I'm gonna lose my hat. Woo! That is fun. All right, so we are heading down to the trail, got the full face helmets on. Devin is riding the Hiboy C1, and the trails are really close here to my house. He's my little cameraman for a lot of my videos. He's got some cameras in his backpack. Now this does have an IPX4, I believe, rating on it, so it should be able to handle any kind of puddles or anything that I go into. All right, so right up here is gonna be the start of the trail. Devin's gonna meet me because his bike is not meant for the trails. At another retention pond area, we're gonna do some hill climbs and stuff. So I'm gonna head off to the left, and then Devin's gonna meet me down at the other side. Now, one of the challenges of riding on trails with an electric bike is how much assist it actually gives you and how it can kind of push you beyond where you want to stop. So this is gonna really give me an opportunity to try out the rear suspension and see how stiff it is. That's the thing with these bikes too, is you can feel like you are, let's get some, oh yeah, there we go. Here's a bump, nice. Yeah, those front forks so far haven't bottomed out, hit some decent sized roots. See, like right here, you're on the brakes a lot. And this is a common thing with a lot of heavier bikes, especially electric bikes, is that the power continues beyond when you stop pedaling. And so it's pretty easy to find yourself having to hit the brakes pretty hard. So here's a bit of a hill climb. See how these tires do? Tons of grip, obviously. Okay, going a little wide there. Of course, I'm in the hardest gear. Let's chill that out a bit. Whoa. Okay, so still only pedal assist level 1. This is a very technical section. No, and that's not a problem at all. Nice. So I think anything higher, level 2 or 3 pedal assist, would just be too much. It's just too much assist. You already are going too fast. When you're on, I'm on, let's see. Yeah, level 1, my first gear. These big fluffy tires and level 1 assist, I'm just like plowing all over everything. Whoa, heck yeah. Yeah, so if I turn this to level 2, it's like you're on a dirt bike. Watch, I'm gonna get air right here. Holy cow. Oh, like, man, it's like wheeling off that. Man, that's so fun. Definitely gonna go through brakes though on level 2. Just too fast. Gonna gear down, or level assist level 1. Not having issues with these trails. Are wide enough that they're no problem. Keep in mind, this is a on off-road bike. This is not a full-on mountain bike. This is not advertised as a mountain bike. It's an on-road, off-road. There's Devin. Bike. That was fun. Woohoo! So because these big tires, they're excellent in snow and sand and gravel, all the elements this bike's gonna be able to handle like a champ. Oh my gosh. So we're on this kind of like back road here. Suspension's doing great. You know, I thought it was gonna be too stiff. It's not. Still on level 1, a pedal assist, and I feel like I'm out here dirt biking. That's a little stiff, the suspension. On those fast hits, it gets to be a lot. It gets to be a bit rough. So here's a pretty thin little trail. Oh, turning down. Okay, this will be nice and rough, a good test to try it out on here. Then we're gonna do some hill climbing. So one thing that I will say as well is that the kickstand is perfectly put together for this bike. It is a beefy, solid kickstand. It's got a really wide base to it. So even though we're in like mushy, soft moss area, it still has no problem doing it. All right, so Devin and I are out here at like this big retention pond, and over here, there's a hill. It's maybe 30% grade, so it's gonna be no problem for this thing. This thing is very strong. All right, so I'm gonna do this first time on my easiest gear over here. It's a level 1 with just a level 1 pedal assist. So feel the power kick in there. This shouldn't be a problem, even though this is really steep. So just sitting, definitely putting a little bit of work in. That's okay. Yeah, let me try that again with a higher level of pedal assist. All right, so I'm gonna make this kind of sharp turn right here. This is really steep. Getting that rear suspension going. Oh! Nice. I'm gonna go up this hill now on level 2 pedal assist. Still on the easy gear because we're in hill climbing mode. See how this goes. Here I go. Oh my gosh. Yeah, nothing to it. So much power, holy cow, like lurches. The question is though, can it make it up it with just electric? That would be a real test of the motor with no pedal assist. So let's do that for a full test. By the way, still we're on 6 miles, still full battery. All right, all electric, here we go. Oh, we're gonna do it. Barely, are we gonna make it? It did, but it did not want to do that. Definitely isn't designed for that, but it did it. Yeah, so now we're on this, I guess it's gonna turn into a gravel road, I think. Yeah, so really loose right through here. Devin's probably struggling a bit, but it's no problem for these huge tires. 26-inch tires, 4 inches wide. Just rips right through this. Here's a little bit of a hill climb. Still on pedal assist level 1. Knock it up to 2. See how fast we can get going up this loose gravel road. It's 10 miles per hour. You don't even feel it, man. I mean, this kind of is voiding the purpose of actual mountain bikes. Just a little quick hill climb. Nice. Whoa! Well, that's all electric through here. So yeah, what a fun touring bike. Just go ripping through the woods, rip on the road. Lots of suspension, lots of support on this thing. Lots and lots of range. And there's not a lot of need for pedal assist level 3, never mind 2, never mind 3. I mean, level 2 I barely even touched today just for fun. Level 1, because you have these amazing gears, the Shimano gearing, it really has everything you could ever need. Every hill I put it through, it's been no problem. That just looks so sketchy on this loose gravel. My son's a nut. He's crazy though. Really good mountain biker though. All right, so we can't complete a bike trial until we try to get both tires off the ground. So I'm gonna try jumping it a little bit into this pit right here. There's some cliffs kind of over here, kind of like little things. We're gonna try that. So Devin, just kind of keep it on me right here and let's see if we can't get this thing off the ground a little bit. Okay, I should probably do this slow at first. Okay, let's see if we can jump up using pedal assist level 2. Here we go. Dropping in. Oh my gosh, let's do a little side hill ride. The grip is just insane. Oh my gosh. All right, coming through. 4-inch tire on the side of a gravel hill. No problem, not even slipping a little. So I'm only starting from like 20 feet away, but this thing picks up speed so fast, I'm just gonna turn, pedal up, and we're back in the garage. So overall, everything went really good on that test run. A couple things that I definitely learned about this bike that we need to talk about. We'll get to that here in just a minute. But let's talk about on the road. Absolute powerhouse, smooth, incredibly fast, almost scary fast, plenty of power. Even on level assist or pedal assist level 1, there was no hills I had any issues with anywhere. In fact, pedal assist level 2 and 3 were nice if you want more speed, but you didn't need them to get up the hill. Once we went into the woods and I got on that rough trail with roots and stuff I had to go around, anything over pedal assist level 1 was too much. It was just too fast. You're being thrown into corners, thrown into trees and roots at an uncontrollable speed. And so level 1 was plenty. The ride was incredibly comfortable because of the big tires and the suspension. That was kind of a given. For the most part, I did not notice this shock being as stiff as I kind of thought it was going to be. And I think that's mostly attributed to the fact that I have these massively thick tires and that's absorbing the first part of every hit that I take. And then when it's beyond what the tires can do, that's when the shock kicks in to do the rest of it. So it felt really smooth the whole time. So everything about what this bike is designed for is spot on perfect, at least in the limited time that I've had to test it. However, there are some things this bike is probably not for that you saw in this video.
It's definitely not 4 that you saw in this video. For one thing, jumping it and hitting roots. You can hit some small roots and it's got enough suspension, but look at this. So you do have quite a bit of suspension here. I mean, that's a good 5 inches on those front forks. However, if you take a look over here, you can see that as I was hitting those jumps and those little drops and whatnot, I forced out some grease from the seals down here, which just tells me that the fast hits that I'm hitting are just too much for these forks. And that's not a surprise, of course. This is not designed for jumping. As you're going through the woods and little roots and rocks and stuff, this is gonna absorb them just fine. I don't know if this is just because they're brand new and this is all normal, or if I actually did kind of blow the seal on these forks. On my mountain bikes over there, if I saw this, I would be concerned that I need to repack the seals. But everything on the seal itself does look okay. So I'm gonna wipe it off and just kind of see what happens. It doesn't feel like it's lost any of its compression. It all seems fine, but I'll keep an eye on it. Also, it's a heavy, clunky bike. It's designed to have the wheels on the ground. So even though I did get the tires off the ground and all that, every time you do something like that with a big heavy bike like that, that's a lot of impact being put on the bike, and it's not something you want to do very often. Yes, it can handle it, especially the rear shock, but every time you hit like that, it is putting more stress on places because of all the weight than probably should be there. But that aside, the gravel roads, the hill climbing, the power, the acceleration, this bike has it all tenfold. It's incredible. It's one of the most fun I've had on an electric bike, non-mountain bike so far. This bike does exactly what they built it to do. It has more power than I even touched today, keeping it in pedal assist level 1. And yeah, if you're looking for a go anywhere, tons of range, on off-road bike, this thing is a beast and it 100% checks that box. If you guys want to know more about it, of course, I'll put the link all below in the description. And of course, thank you Hiboy for sending this out for me to test this out. It's been a blast.